you get your puppy home in the first few weeks, you're going to begin training, and you're actually going to attack all three of the major elements of dog training immediately. And those three elements are socialization, where we get our dog used to what they're going to see while they're an adult, while they're still a puppy. We're going to attack obedience, when we do puppy obedience, and we're going to also attack accentuating your dog's natural hunting instincts. So let's start out with a little socialization. When we get our puppy home, they're going to be missing their siblings, and their environment's going to radically change. So it's very important that you establish that your family is the new pack of the dog. And we're going to do that by spending a lot of time holding our dog, physically touching, talking to the dog, saying its new name, and getting it used to our voice and its surroundings. We are also going to put a leash and strap collar on our dog, such that the puppy will get used to these training implements that we're going to be using so much as the dog progresses in his training. And we're going to show you a couple techniques that you can use, that you can perform in your day-to-day life, including kenneling the dog and teaching it a couple discipline techniques when you're feeding it. So all these things are going to be done with a little 8-week-old puppy. So let's start out with actually teaching the dog the basis of positive and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement's anything the dog likes. Negative reinforcement's anything the dog does not like that can be used to change their behavior. So right off the bat, whether we like it or not, we're training our dog. When we pick up our little 8-week-old puppy, eventually the puppy's going to want to get down. When the puppy wants to get down, it's going to wiggle, and most people make the mistake of letting the dog down when it's wiggling. Well, the dog obviously then is going to learn by fighting it can get what it wants. So we're going to teach the dog the opposite, that by cooperating or performing some sort of task for us, it's going to get what it wants. So when that puppy begins to wiggle, we're going to institute a little bit of negative reinforcement by putting some light pressure on the dog with our arms and hands. And when the dog stops wiggling, we're going to take that pressure off, or the negative reinforcement will come off. So the dog is going to learn that by relaxing or doing what we want, the negative reinforcement is going to come off. And then when it relaxes, we're going to give it positive reinforcement, what it wants, when it gets down. So we're going to start that positive relationship, that mutually beneficial relationship that we want to portray right away with our dog when it's 8 weeks old. Now we're going to show you a few tips and techniques that you can use with your 8-week-old puppy when you get them home to continue the dog training process. Now here you can see we've got a nylon strap collar on DT, and we also have a leash. Now obviously DT is much older than 8 weeks old, but you're going to actually put one of these systems on your dog when it's 8 weeks old. So get a small nylon strap collar or leather strap collar and a leash. Now you can even just use a short piece of cord at this point. The point is the dog is going to learn and get used to having the leash on at all times. So you're going to actually let the puppy drag the leash around in the house, and he'll get used to the fact that it's on him, and he might feel a little pressure, and it's no big deal. You'd be amazed at how many things that an 8-week-old puppy can learn, so don't dismiss starting your training right away. Okay, so we talked about getting our puppy used to the leash and the strap collar. That's going to be what we use as a negative reinforcement tool. Let's talk about a tool that we're going to be able to use eventually for positive reinforcement, which is our treat. Obviously, most puppies like treats, so if you can find a treat that your dog likes, which can include just pieces of the dog's dog food, you can use those to begin teaching your dog to take them out of your hand. Now, it seems like a very basic concept that dogs would just instinctively understand, but that's not true. You actually have to teach them to take treats from your hand. So as you can see, I'm teaching DT to take treats out of both of my hands. So as you can see, he's kind of, now that he knows that I have a treat in my hand, he's going to kind of move around. So very quickly we can start manipulating him a little bit. But that's another thing. Get your puppy, your little 8-week-old puppy, used to taking treats out of both of your hands, because we're going to begin using them as tools in our training very soon. Part of our socialization process is also going to be getting our dog used to the crate. The crate is going to be used in all different applications, and it's going to be part of our dog's life for the rest of their life. So let's introduce it the right way. Anytime we introduce a concept, we want to introduce it in the most positive way. So we talked about teaching our dog to take treats out of her hand, so we got DT excited about that. We've got our crate present, so let's teach him to just get in the crate. So in the beginning, we can actually just put our hand towards the crate with the treat. As you can see, he knows how to get that treat out of my hand, and he's excited about that. Next, I'll just put a couple right here in the beginning of the crate. And clearly he got in because he already understands how to do this. But in the beginning, DT, in the beginning, the puppy is going to, might not know how to get all the way in. So it's important that you start by putting the treats close to the edge. As the puppy starts to understand to go a little further in the crate to get the treats, put them further back, and pretty soon your dog will be entering the crate. By practicing putting your dog in the crate for short periods of time, you're going to create a positive experience for your dog. And pretty soon your dog will actually look forward to getting into the crate instead of worrying about getting into the crate. Let's go ahead and try it. DT, kennel. Good boy. Good boy. Now let's talk about getting our dog out of the crate. As you can see, DT's in the crate and he wants to get out. When we open the door with a little 8-week-old puppy, they're probably going to come barreling out. We don't want to start teaching this as a habit. We don't want our dog establishing that as a habit. So we're going to teach our dog actually to stay in the crate until they're released, because remember, when they're big dogs and they come barreling out of that crate, it can be dangerous for whoever's opening the door, and it could also put our dog in a dangerous situation if they ran out across the street when they're getting out of the car, etc., etc. So very simply, we're going to use our door as negative reinforcement, and we're just going to keep bouncing the door until finally the dog gives up and backs away. And once we can get the dog to stay while the door is all the way open, we're going to release the dog with their name. So in this case, DT. Now he knows to stay in the crate until he's released. It should only take you a day or so to get your puppy used to going into the crate. So you can actually start using your crate for other purposes right away. We use our crate to help housebreak our dog, and we're going to use that by putting the dog in the crate when we can't watch them. When they're in the crate, they're less likely to dirty the crate, so it makes them kind of hold things such that when you get them out, you can rush them outside quickly and allow them to go to the bathroom. Now, since we're on that subject, dogs are habitual, even more habitual than humans. So if they go to the bathroom in one place, they're likely to want to go there again. So it's important that you do not give your dog an opportunity to go in the house, and you make sure that anytime after the dog's been crated, after they've eaten, after they've drank water, they should always be rushed outside, so you make it impossible for them to go inside and make it totally possible for them to go outside, starting the right habit.